Imagine if I told you that you could wake up tomorrow morning with your muscles actually stronger, more recovered, and more ready to perform, and all you had to do was take 2 simple vitamins before bed. No, I'm not talking about loading up on magnesium supplements like everyone else recommends. In fact, I want you to forget about that for a moment, because tonight I'm going to share with you 2 far more powerful vitamins that work quietly while you sleep to rebuild muscle tissue, reduce soreness, and help you get the kind of recovery that most people chase but rarely achieve. And here's the crazy part. It's not about spending more time in the gym. It's not about taking expensive powders or chasing exotic supplements. It's about giving your body exactly what it needs at the exact time it can use them best, which is during your deep restorative sleep. If you've been wondering why your muscles feel sore for days, why your recovery seems slower than it should be, or why you just can't seem to break through plateaus no matter how hard you train, this is the video you've been waiting for. Because when I tell you about these 2 vitamins, you're going to understand how to finally unlock recovery on autopilot literally overnight. Before I reveal the exact vitamins, let's step back for a moment and talk about why nighttime is such a critical window for rebuilding muscle. You see, most people think muscles grow in the gym. That's actually not true. What happens in the gym is you're breaking down muscle fibers, creating tiny micro tears through resistance and load. That stress signals your body that it needs to adapt to come back stronger. But the rebuilding, the strengthening, the actual growth that happens when you're resting, and most of all, when you're sleeping. Sleep is your anabolic window. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, testosterone is regulated, cortisol levels drop, and your muscles get flooded with nutrients that repair those micro tears and build thicker, stronger fibers. This is the phase where recovery either happens fully or doesn't happen at all. And if you're not fueling your body with the right tools before this window, you're leaving gains on the table every single night. This is why supplements have become such a huge market. People know recovery is everything and they're looking for shortcuts. Magnesium often gets pushed because it does play a role in relaxation and muscle function. But here's the problem. Magnesium alone is not going to rebuild your muscle tissue. Yes, it helps calm the nervous system and maybe improve sleep quality for some, but if your goal is overnight muscle repair, you need more than relaxation. You need the building blocks and the activators that actually drive protein synthesis, enhance recovery, and optimize your hormonal environment while you sleep. And that's exactly where these 2 vitamins come in. The first one I want to talk about is vitamin D. Now, I know what you're thinking. Vitamin D is the sunshine vitamin, right? What does that have to do with muscle repair at night? Everything. Vitamin D is actually a hormone in disguise. It plays a direct role in muscle strength, muscle protein synthesis, and even testosterone production. Studies have shown that people with adequate vitamin D levels recover faster, have greater muscle function, and experience less soreness after workouts. Here's why taking it at night can be so powerful. When you're asleep, your body is in a natural recovery mode. Vitamin D enhances the absorption of calcium and phosphorus, which are critical minerals for muscle contraction and repair. But more importantly, vitamin D influences the expression of genes involved in muscle cell growth. If you're deficient, you could be working twice as hard in the gym and getting half the results. By taking vitamin D at night, you're essentially stacking your recovery window with one of the most powerful repair hormones your body has access to. And here's where it gets really interesting. Most people don't realize how widespread vitamin D deficiency is. Even if you live in a sunny climate, if you spend most of your day indoors, if you wear sunscreen, if you live in an area with long winters or if you have darker skin that naturally filters UV rays, chances are you're not getting enough. And low vitamin D doesn't just affect bones and immunity, it directly sabotages your ability to recover and rebuild muscle. So, if you've been hitting the gym hard, eating your protein, but still feeling weak, tired, or like your progress has stalled, this could be the missing link. Supplementing vitamin D in the evening allows it to work in harmony with your body's natural nighttime repair cycle, giving your muscles what they need to come back stronger by morning. That's just one side of the story. The second vitamin is where the magic really happens for overnight recovery, and that's vitamin C. I can almost hear you saying, wait, vitamin C. Isn't that just for immune health and colds? Here's the truth most people don't know. Vitamin C is a cornerstone of muscle repair, and it's especially effective when taken at night. Why? Because vitamin C is required for collagen synthesis, and collagen is the connective tissue that literally holds your muscles, tendons, and ligaments together. Every time you lift weights, run, or even push your body in any way, you're not just stressing the muscle fibers, you're stressing the connective tissue that supports them. Without adequate collagen repair, you get stiffness, soreness, joint pain, and a higher risk of injury. Vitamin C ensures that collagen fibers are rebuilt strong and flexible, so your muscles and joints can handle the load the next day. But there's another layer to this. Vitamin C is one of the most powerful antioxidants in your body. After an intense workout, your muscles are flooded with free radicals and oxidative stress. This can cause inflammation and slow down recovery. If this damage lingers overnight, your body spends the next day still trying to catch up and you feel sluggish and sore. By taking vitamin C before bed, you're essentially putting out that fire, neutralizing oxidative stress and clearing the path for pure recovery. That means you wake up feeling refreshed, less sore, and ready to train again. Think about it. If your muscles aren't weighed down by lingering inflammation, you can perform better, lift heavier, and grow faster. That's the edge vitamin C gives you. And here's the synergy that makes these two vitamins unbeatable together. Vitamin D enhances muscle function and growth, while vitamin C repairs connective tissue and reduces inflammation. One works at the cellular level to build stronger muscle fibers. The other works at the structural level to make sure those fibers are supported and protected. Together, they create an environment where your body can maximize muscle recovery overnight. This combination is far more effective than relying on magnesium alone. Magnesium may help you relax and drift off to sleep, but vitamin D and C actually do the work of repairing and rebuilding while you're in deep rest. So, let me paint a picture for you. You finish a tough workout during the day. Maybe it's legs and your quads are on fire. Or maybe it's chest and arms and you've pushed yourself to the limit. Normally, you'd expect to wake up stiff, sore, maybe even struggling to get out of bed. But now, imagine instead you take your vitamin D and vitamin C at night, go to sleep, and let your body do its thing. Overnight vitamin D is boosting protein synthesis, enhancing calcium absorption, regulating hormones, and setting the stage for muscle growth. Meanwhile, vitamin C is repairing your connective tissue, building collagen, and sweeping away oxidative stress. You wake up not only less sore, but stronger, more energized, and ready to train again. That's what I mean when I say recovery on autopilot. And before anyone asks, yes, you can absolutely get these vitamins from food. Fatty fish, eggs, and fortified dairy are good sources of vitamin D, while citrus fruits, bell peppers, and berries are rich in vitamin C. But here's the catch. Most people simply don't get enough through diet alone, especially if you're training hard and your body's demand for recovery nutrients is higher than the average person's. That's why supplementation makes sense. The key is consistency. Taking them once in a while won't cut it. You've got to make it part of your nightly routine, just like brushing your teeth. Over time, you'll notice a difference not only in your muscle recovery, but also in your energy, your mood, and even your immune system. I know there's a lot of noise in the health and fitness world. Everyone is pushing some magic pill, some expensive powder, or some complicated biohack. But sometimes the most powerful solutions are the simplest ones. 2 basic vitamins taken at the right time can completely change the way your body recovers and grows. Forget chasing every supplement under the sun. Start with these 2. Give it a few weeks and watch how your recovery transforms. And I'll tell you something else. This isn't just for athletes or bodybuilders. Even if you're someone who's just trying to stay active, maybe you go for runs, do yoga, or hit the gym a couple times a week, you can benefit massively from this. Recovery is not just about muscle growth. It's about feeling good in your body, staying mobile, and preventing injuries. If you're sore all the time, if your joints ache, if you feel like exercise is wearing you down instead of building you up, adding vitamin D and C to your nightly routine can make exercise enjoyable again. Here's my challenge to you. For the next 30 days, take vitamin D and vitamin C before bed. Keep your workouts the same. Keep your diet the same, but pay attention to how your body feels when you wake up in the morning. Notice the difference in your energy, your soreness, and your performance. I guarantee you'll feel the shift, because when you give your body the raw materials it needs at the time it needs them most, your body rewards you with faster recovery, better strength, and more resilience. Forget the hype around magnesium being the end-all solution. Yes, it has its place, but if you want to truly rebuild muscle overnight, vitamin D and vitamin C are your powerhouse duo. Take them consistently. Take them before bed and let your body do what it was designed to do. Repair, rebuild, and grow stronger while you sleep. Have you ever wondered why timing makes such a massive difference in how your body responds to nutrition, supplements, or even training? You could take the same exact vitamin, the same dose, but if you take it in the morning, it may have one effect, and if you take it at night, it might have an entirely different impact on your body. This becomes especially true when we talk about recovery and muscle building, because your body runs on rhythms, cycles, and patterns that most people completely ignore. Everyone is obsessed with what to take, but almost no one is talking about when to take it. And here's where the secret lies. Taking vitamins at night, specifically vitamin D and vitamin C, can unlock anabolic recovery windows that simply don't exist in the morning. This timing secret is the difference between just supplementing and actually rebuilding muscle overnight. Think about how your body operates over 24 hours. You wake up, your cortisol levels are high, your body is preparing for activity. Digestion is revved up and you're in a catabolic state. Catabolism means breaking down using stored energy and mobilizing resources to get you through the day. This is why the morning is not the optimal time for building muscle. It's about survival, movement, and activity. On the other hand, nighttime is the complete opposite. When you're winding down, when you're about to go to bed, your body begins to shift gears. Cortisol drops. Melatonin rises. Growth hormone secretion is about to kick in, and this is when you move into an anabolic state. Anabolism is all about building, repairing, and restoring. It's nature's way of saying, okay, you've broken down. Now it's time to rebuild. And this rebuilding phase peaks during deep sleep. That's the window where your muscles, your connective tissues, and even your nervous system get repaired. Now, here's the interesting part. If you flood your system with the right vitamins before entering this anabolic window, your body has the tools it needs to take full advantage of this rebuilding phase. If you wait until morning, you've already missed that critical overnight opportunity. Vitamin D and vitamin C are not just nutrients. They're catalysts that trigger processes that matter most when your body is repairing. Vitamin D influences protein synthesis, calcium regulation, and even testosterone balance. These are all critical for muscle strength and recovery, but they're most useful at night when your body is repairing muscle fibers. If you take vitamin D in the morning, yes, you might still absorb it, but your body isn't actively in repair mode, so the full effect gets diluted. At night, when protein synthesis is running at full speed, vitamin D becomes a co-pilot, amplifying what your body is already trying to do. Vitamin C works the same way, but in its own lane. During the day, your muscles are constantly under low-level oxidative stress just from movement, exercise, and exposure to the environment. At night, that oxidative damage needs to be cleared so muscle cells can regenerate. Vitamin C steps in as the antioxidant shield, mopping up free radicals and allowing muscle mitochondria to restore energy systems efficiently. It also boosts collagen synthesis, which is crucial for repairing tendons, ligaments, and the connective tissue scaffolding that supports muscle fibers. If you take vitamin C in the morning, it will still act as an antioxidant, sure, but it won't have the same impact because the repair phase is not in full swing. Taking it before bed is like handing construction workers the exact tools they need at the exact time they're working. Timing is everything. Another aspect most people overlook is hormone fluctuation across the day. At night, during deep sleep, growth hormone peaks. Growth hormone is one of the strongest anabolic hormones your body produces naturally, and it's directly tied to tissue repair, fat metabolism, and muscle regeneration. Vitamin D and vitamin C don't replace growth hormone, but they amplify its effectiveness. Vitamin D helps regulate the calcium channels that growth hormone relies on to build muscle tissue, and vitamin C reduces oxidative stress that could otherwise blunt growth hormone's action. If you think about it, taking these vitamins at night is like opening the doors for growth hormone to walk right in and do its job with zero resistance. Let's also talk about inflammation, because this is another key reason why nighttime supplementation is so powerful. After a tough workout, your body is inflamed. Micro tears in the muscles trigger an immune response, which is necessary for adaptation, but can easily become excessive and slow down recovery. Overnight, if unchecked, this inflammation lingers, making you stiff and sore in the morning. Vitamin C at night controls that inflammation, keeping it in balance so the immune system repairs rather than overacts. If you take vitamin C in the morning, you're already waking up with that inflammation built up, and you're just trying to play catch up. Timing it at night prevents the problem before it even shows up. Vitamin D has a similar role when it comes to regulating muscle cramping and calcium utilization. Many people wake up with stiff joints, tight muscles, or even leg cramps. This happens because calcium and magnesium balance gets thrown off during sleep if there's not enough vitamin D to regulate it. By taking vitamin D before bed, you're ensuring that calcium moves into the muscles and bones properly throughout the night, preventing that stiffness and setting you up to feel looser and stronger when you wake up. Again, timing is the critical factor here. There's also something to be said about circadian rhythms. Every system in your body operates on a clock, not just your sleep-wake cycle. Your digestive system, your hormone release, your immune function, they're all tied to the circadian rhythm. When you take supplements, your body processes them differently depending on where you are in that cycle. Morning supplementation goes into a body that's preparing for activity, while nighttime supplementation goes into a body that's preparing for repair. Vitamin D and C align perfectly with the nighttime cycle because their roles are about strengthening, restoring, and regenerating tissues. If you take them in the morning, you're working against the rhythm. If you take them at night, you're flowing with it, and the effects multiply. Let's bring in real-world examples. Athletes who train at elite levels are obsessed with recovery. Many of them supplement strategically around sleep because they know that recovery is the real secret to performance. It's not about who trains the hardest. It's about who recovers the fastest. If you can recover while others are still sore, you can train again, adapt again, and progress faster. This is why the timing secret matters. Taking vitamin D and C before bed allows you to recover like an elite athlete, even if you're just training a few times a week. It's about efficiency, about using your sleep as an anabolic tool rather than just unconscious hours. The digestive side is another piece of this puzzle. When you sleep, your digestion slows down, but absorption of certain nutrients actually improves. Fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D, when taken with a small amount of fat in an evening meal, can be absorbed more efficiently and then utilized overnight. Vitamin C, being water-soluble, also works well in the evening because it doesn't interfere with sleep and it can circulate through the bloodstream during the hours when your tissues are undergoing the heaviest repair. Taking them in the morning often means they get used up for daytime energy metabolism instead of recovery, which is another reason timing them at night is more powerful for rebuilding muscle. Psychologically, there's also a benefit to this timing. If you make it part of your nighttime ritual, your brain begins to associate those vitamins with rest, repair, and recovery. This routine strengthens consistency, and consistency is what really brings results over time. The body thrives on rhythm, and giving it the same recovery tools at the same time every night creates a compounding effect. One night may not feel like much, but 30 nights in a row, that's when you notice you're waking up with less soreness, more strength, and a readiness to push harder in the gym. We can't ignore the immune connection either. Training hard, especially resistance training, temporarily suppresses the immune system. If you're not recovering properly, you're more vulnerable to getting sick, which interrupts your training completely. Vitamin C and vitamin D, both powerful immune supporters, but their protection is most valuable at night when the immune system is doing its heavy lifting. White blood cells are more active during sleep. Antibodies are produced and inflammation is regulated. By taking these vitamins at night, you're giving your immune system exactly what it needs during its prime working hours, which keeps you healthier and more consistent with your training. This all comes back to the idea that recovery isn't just about sleeping. It's about optimizing sleep as a repair phase. Most people think of sleep as downtime, but athletes, bodybuilders, and people who understand performance view sleep as active recovery time. Your muscles are rebuilding. Your brain is resetting. Your hormones are being regulated. And every cell in your body is going through maintenance. If you enter that phase without the right nutrients, you're essentially trying to build a house without materials. If you enter it with vitamin D and C on board, you're providing bricks, mortar, and workers who are ready to get the job done efficiently. So, when we say the timing secret is to take these vitamins at night, it's not just a random suggestion. It's rooted in how your body's biology works. Morning supplementation may have its place for energy and activity, but if your goal is muscle recovery, strength, and growth, nighttime is when the real work gets done. This is the anabolic recovery window, and it's your opportunity to feed into it. The timing makes the difference between supplements that are just floating through your system and supplements that are actually driving overnight transformation. When it comes to building muscle, staying strong, and actually making progress in your training, most people focus only on the obvious things like protein, workouts, sets, and supplements for recovery. But there's a hidden factor that decides whether you actually get results or whether you keep hitting roadblocks. And that factor is your immune system. Think about it for a second. Every time you've had a cold, every time you've been run down, or every time you've had to skip a week of training because you just didn't feel right, it wasn't your muscles that failed you. It was your immune system. You can't build muscle if you're not consistent, and you can't stay consistent if you're always getting sick, run down, or inflamed. This is where the real secret power of vitamin D and vitamin C together shows up. Sure, they help with muscle repair, but the hidden gem most people miss is how they strengthen immune defenses in a way that keeps you in the gym, keeps you training, and keeps your progress uninterrupted. If you want results, it's not just about how hard you train. It's about how often you can show up without being knocked out by illness or fatigue. Let's start with vitamin D. Most people know it as the sunshine vitamin, but what many don't realize is that vitamin D is like the master switch of your immune system. It controls how your body responds to infections, how strong your defenses are, and how much inflammation your body produces. When vitamin D levels are low, your immune system becomes sluggish. Your white blood cells don't work as efficiently, and your body's ability to fight off even the smallest bugs drops. This means you're more likely to catch a cold after a hard workout, more likely to get run down after a long week, and more likely to deal with lingering fatigue that keeps you away from the gym. On the other hand, when your vitamin D is optimized, your immune cells are alert, responsive, and ready to neutralize anything that tries to slow you down. For athletes or anyone training consistently, this makes the difference between steady progress and endless interruptions. Vitamin C works on the other side of the equation, where vitamin D controls the immune system's overall coordination. Vitamin C powers its actual soldiers. Your white blood cells literally need vitamin C to function. They use it as fuel to chase down and destroy viruses and bacteria. Without enough vitamin C, your immune cells are like tired soldiers with no weapons. They can't fight properly. They can't respond quickly. And your defenses collapse under pressure. This is why vitamin C deficiency makes people more prone to infection, slower to heal, and longer to recover. But when vitamin C levels are strong, your immune system becomes fast, efficient, and resilient. That means when you push yourself hard in training, when your body is temporarily stressed and vulnerable, vitamin C ensures that your defenses don't break down. It keeps the repair process smooth and keeps illness from creeping in during those vulnerable recovery windows. Now, here's where the magic happens. Vitamin D and vitamin C don't just work separately. They work together. Vitamin D primes the immune system so it knows how to respond, and vitamin C provides the energy and protection for the cells that actually do the fighting. It's like vitamin D is the general giving clear instructions, and vitamin C is the soldiers carrying them out effectively. When you combine the two, you get a system that is not only stronger, but smarter. This synergy is why people who optimize both vitamins have fewer sick days, recover from colds faster, and maintain their training schedules more consistently. And in fitness, consistency is everything. It's not the person who trains the hardest for 2 weeks that gets the results. It's the person who trains steadily month after month without long breaks. Think about what happens when your immune system isn't strong enough. You hit the gym hard. Your body goes through stress and your immune defenses drop. Suddenly, you catch a cold. You're stuck at home and you lose momentum. After a week or 2 off, your strength drops. Your motivation dips. And when you come back, it feels like starting over. How many times has that happened? This cycle destroys progress, and most people never make the connection that their immune system was the weak link all along. By using vitamin D and C together, you can break that cycle, you can recover faster, stay healthier, and keep training uninterrupted. This is one of the most overlooked aspects of fitness. Most people are obsessed with muscles, but forget that a healthy immune system is the foundation that allows those muscles to grow in the first place. Vitamin D also has a very specific role in reducing unnecessary inflammation. When your immune system is unbalanced, it often overreacts, creating too much inflammation. This doesn't just make you feel run down. It also slows muscle recovery and makes joints ache. Vitamin D keeps that immune response balanced. It's strong enough to fight off infections, but calm enough not to damage your own tissues. That means less soreness, fewer inflamed joints, and faster recovery between workouts. Vitamin C complements this perfectly because it is the ultimate anti-inflammatory antioxidant. After a workout, your body is flooded with free radicals. If these aren't neutralized, they lead to more inflammation, which again compromises your immune system and slows your recovery. Vitamin C sweeps in to neutralize these free radicals, reducing the burden on your immune system so it can focus on protecting you instead of wasting energy fighting oxidative stress. This 1-2 punch keeps you healthier, less sore, and able to show up the next day. Here's something else most people don't realize. Your immune system and your muscles are in constant communication. When your immune system is overworked fighting off illness, it diverts energy and nutrients away from muscle repair. That means slower gains, weaker recovery, and more soreness. But when your immune system is supported by vitamin D and C, it runs efficiently without draining your resources. That frees up your body to put more energy into rebuilding muscle tissue. In other words, a strong immune system directly translates into better muscle growth. You can almost think of vitamin D and C as the gatekeepers that protect your muscle building process from being hijacked by illness or excessive inflammation. Another critical piece is how these vitamins influence stress hormones. High cortisol is one of the fastest ways to break down both your immune defenses and your muscle tissue. Vitamin D helps regulate cortisol, preventing it from spiking too high during recovery phases. And vitamin C actively lowers cortisol after intense stress. This means together they not only protect your immune system, but also keep your hormonal environment favorable for both recovery and growth. Too much cortisol weakens immunity, makes you prone to colds, and keeps you in a catabolic state. But with vitamin D and C, cortisol is kept in check. Your immune system stays strong, and your body remains anabolic instead of catabolic. And let's not forget about real-world training. If you've ever followed a program, you know how much consistency matters. Missing even a few days can throw off your rhythm, and missing weeks can set you back months. Imagine two athletes with the same training plan and the same intensity. One gets sick every month or two and has to take breaks, while the other never misses a session because their immune system is strong. After 6 months, the difference is enormous. The consistent athlete will always outperform, always recover better, and always look stronger. That's the advantage vitamin D and C give you. They're not just about muscle repair. They're about keeping your body healthy enough to stay on track no matter what. And that's the real secret to progress. Showing up again and again without interruption. Vitamin D also has a role in preventing respiratory infections, which is huge for athletes. Intense training temporarily suppresses immunity, making the respiratory system particularly vulnerable. This is why many athletes complain about catching colds or getting run down after competitions or heavy training cycles. But vitamin D strengthens the lining of the respiratory tract and enhances the immune cells that patrol it, reducing the risk of these infections. Vitamin C adds another layer of defense by supporting the production of interferons, proteins that block viruses from replicating in your cells. Together, these vitamins form a shield around one of the most vulnerable systems in your body during training. By protecting your lungs and airways, They allow you to breathe easier, recover faster, and keep training without those frustrating setbacks. The beauty of this combination is that it's not complicated, it's not expensive, and it doesn't require extreme measures. 2 basic vitamins taken consistently can completely change the reliability of your training. They allow you to push harder without worrying about being sidelined by illness. They make recovery smoother, and they give your immune system the resilience to handle the stress of exercise without crashing. Most people look for advanced supplements and complex routines. But the truth is, without a strong immune system, all of that falls apart. Vitamin D and C provide the foundation, the stability that ensures everything else you're doing can actually